Hello, and welcome to Back to School Night 2020. A little bit different, but we're going to do it just as well. My name is Emily Bone, and I'm your student's US 1 history teacher. So, a little bit about me first. Who is this person who's on the other side of their computer screen right now every day? Like I said, my name is Emily Bone. This is my third year at STEM. I came here when it opened a few years ago, and this is my 20th year teaching. Before that, I taught at Morris Tech. I was there for 12 years when they started to become a full-time tech school. Before that, I was part of the Freehold system down the shore. So I'm really excited to be here. A little bit about my educational background. I attended college at United States Military Academy, at Rutgers University, and most recently at Ashland University in Ohio. So my undergraduate degree was in history and political science. My master's degree at Rutgers was social studies education. And just recently, I got another master's from Ashland University in American history and government. So I actually moved a few years ago so I could teach at this school. I have two children. I've coached runners, track and cross country for almost all of those 20 years. And most importantly, I'm really, really excited to be here. I would have not, moved my children around if I didn't think this school was the perfect place for your child, and its vision and its purpose is on point. So a little bit about our class. What are we learning about this year? So basically, it's the era from colonialization in America until industrialization. So like roughly 1600 to 1900. We cover a lot of different things. On here, you'll see just some of them. So right now, we're focusing on the colonies before the revolution. We'll be getting that shortly. We talk about different relationships with the indigenous people, with slavery, the Constitution, the early republic, various wars we've been in, the War of 1812, the Mexican War, social conflict and social progress. The Civil War is always a big one with the students. Reconstruction gets a big emphasis. Then industrialization, and of course, STEM connections. These are STEM students, and we like looking at the technology throughout this time period as well. Of course, there's lots of things in there that we don't cover, but that's just some of the big topics. So how do we do this? Right now, we're all doing virtual instruction, and hopefully that ends. For now, for the first trimester, I am teaching from home. The school has been able to provide the structure so that I could do that since I have two younger children at home with their schooling. But throughout that, everything has been going really well, whether your student is at home or goes to school. I run a WebEx, which is like they see my face for the entire block. They don't just have to check in for a few minutes. I'm there from bell to bell, so to speak. And we run a class as normal as possible. I know things are not normal. There's things that we aren't able to do that we were in the past. But we establish routines. We find ways to communicate and collaborate. And we're learning a lot. We've been doing some amazing things already. Students will submit their assignments via Canvas and here on Google Classroom. I'm sure they can walk you through that tonight as well. So a little bit about our daily routine. We need a little bit of structure and a little bit of routine with all the things going on that are disrupted right now. So every class we start with a journal and a discussion. That journal, which they do online, it could be a passage or a quote from the time period they reflect on. It may be an image. It might be data. Today, for example, students responded to a map that showed different percentages of slavery in the colonies. And what did that imply? And what did it not show? And what conclusions can we make from that? After that, we always do On This Day in History for a few minutes. So it's about an event from somewhere in the units that we've been learning about. Just what happened on this day, 200 years ago. And as we keep repeating little events like that, we really start understanding the different eras better. Then we do a class activity. It's usually online because of this structure, but sometimes it's collaborative. It might take certain journals they need to read, scholarly articles, maybe look through websites, read different primary source documents. We're really big on primary source documents. But then at the end of class, we come together with what's called an essential questions review. So for every unit, there's say 8 to 10 essential questions that the state of New Jersey pretty much says, these are what they should know from this unit. And then we review what we did from our journal to maybe our homework to our class activity, and did we answer any of those questions and what were they? And that way we're really sure that we review, we reinforce, and make sure that there's an understanding. Also, a fun thing students seem to like is our music of the day. When I was in the classroom, I always played music from someone who was born that day, an American, so that it's sort of a fun way to walk into the classroom. Well, now that I'm behind the computer, I've been playing it as they log on to WebEx, sort of like their theme music as they log in. And sometimes they learn about new genres that they never heard before, but it's a little bit about our American and cultural history. So far, for example, they've heard music from Johnny Mathis. It was his birthday this week. And also here in New Jersey native Dee Dee Warwick. So we do have a flipped classroom. Now, that means basically that I don't lecture in the classroom anymore, and that they watch a short video, which I make. I want them to remember that I'm their teacher, to go over the material at home. This is beneficial for a bunch of reasons. They can replay it if they don't understand something, especially before like a test or a quiz. It also frees up our class time to do more collaborative things, since I can't really help with the big projects at night when class is over. Now, it's a little bit different because it's virtual, but I still provide those video frameworks, and they have that ready before class. It's been working smoothly so far this year. I do want to mention also that we do cover current events. This is a U.S. history class, and it's great to know what happened 400 years ago, but we need to know what's going on now, and we need to see how one cause or affects the other. We look at multiple sources. We make sure we're able to be intelligent news readers and analyze bias. We're making ourselves aware of all the election issues going on. Sorry, my son is giving me his Christmas list. And these are future voters, so we want them to be educated on various things throughout the news as it unfolds. So if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to reach out. Your students know how you can communicate with me, and I look so forward to spending the rest of the year and learning together with them. Good night, guys.
Mommy.